So here it is, finally, the all-new Honda City making its global debut right here in New Delhi. Now the first impression is that it's more of an evolution than a revolution. But talking to Honda engineers, what they said is that really in terms of the styling, they pretty much nailed it with the last City. So this one is just sort of a kind of improvement on it. From the front, it very much is a City. It's got that same sort of arrowhead design, but the grille is slightly larger. Moving to the sides, you've got these lovely character lines over there which really give a sense of strength to the body. And when you move to the rear, you've got these big tail lights which extend into the boot lid, which really accentuate the width of the car. Now, moving to the inside, that's really where the big jump has been made, and that's really where Honda has focused all its efforts. So what you get really is top quality materials, the type you haven't seen in a City before. You've got these piano black finishes, much richer plastics, and even the steering wheel, it's so chunky and feels like it's straight out of a Civic. You've got this really unique touch screen for the aircon, a big 5-inch screen over here, so really very, very premium. And for the first time in a City, rear passengers also get rear air conditioning vents. But when it comes to space, I think this is where the City has really the measure over its rivals. It's much wider, there's a lot more legroom, and again, Honda being the masters of packaging have really eked out every little millimeter from the cabin. Now what's interesting is that in terms of length, it's as long as the earlier City, but a 50mm extension in the wheelbase has given a lot more passenger room. And there's another little detail. The fuel tank, which was in the center, has now moved to the back because since the seats don't flip up and down like in the Jazz, there's really no benefit in having the central fuel tank. Coming to the engines, well, you've got a pair of familiar engines powering the new City. You've got the 1.5 i-VTEC carried over from the earlier City, and you've got the diesel from the Amaze. Now the talking point really is the diesel, because we are seeing a diesel in the City for the first time. But again, the diesel engine is one we are quite familiar with. It's a 1.5 i-VTEC diesel engine, but it's going to be improved, especially in terms of NVH or refinement, because Honda do acknowledge that in the Amaze the engine was a bit noisy, and for City customers this level of noise won't do, so they've improved it. So in terms of performance, perhaps a slight improvement in performance, but don't forget this car sticks to the fixed geometry turbo, the FGT, and doesn't go for a variable geometry turbo, which the European engine has. So clearly the focus not so much on performance over here. Also helping the fuel economy but not helping the looks or the stance of the car or even the ride and handling are those thin 175 tires. Now we were all hoping that the City would come with fatter rubber, but alas, no, Honda have stuck to this narrow rubber purely in the interest of fuel economy. So once again, efficiency playing a key role with the new City. Though the car's been revealed over here, it actually goes on sale only in January 2014. That's the time when they're going to reveal the prices. Now we're not sure what the prices are going to be, but from what we hear, it's going to be quite an aggressive base model, and they're going to be quite a few variants, and the top-end diesel, that's going to be quite pricey. We believe even slightly pricier than the Verna itself. So that's going a bit into Civic territory, and with both a petrol and diesel option, I think this car is going to be the pick of the class.